What is real? The desert traveler sees water where none exists. The mind constructs meaning from light, color, and memory. Each glance becomes a universe born in awareness. If our senses can deceive, what then is truth? The sages of India asked not only what we perceive, but who is the perceiver? Indian knowledge systems begin with Pramāṇa, the ways we know. Tyaksha, perception. Anumana, inference. Shabda, verbal testimony. Pratyaksha is the very foundational pramana. Does perception reveal reality as it is, or only a form shaped by the mind? From this question arose centuries of dialogue, a conversation between seer and seen, between experience and essence. Buddhist philosophers turned perception inward, seeking the roots of experience within consciousness itself. For the Vijñānavadins, also known as Yogacharas, the external world is but a projection of the mind, Vijñāpti Matra, where subject and object arise together as modes of awareness. The Madhyamikas, led by Nagarjuna, went further. All phenomena are shunya, empty of intrinsic nature, swabhava, existing only through dependent origination, pratitya samutpada. In contrast, the realist Nyāya philosophers held that perception, pratyaksha, arises through direct contact between the senses and their objects, indriyartha sannikarsha, by which the mind apprehends a mind-independent reality. This world, they argued, is composed of 7 fundamental categories, padarthas: dravya, substance; gun, quality; karma, motion; samanya, universal; vishesha, particularity; samavaya, inherence; and abhava, absence. Through veridical perception grounded in this causal contact, the Nyāya Vaisheshikas affirmed that knowledge connects us with real entities, not mere appearances. While the Buddhists sought liberation through realizing emptiness or the mind-only nature of experience, the Naiyayikas found knowledge's certainty in genuine contact with real entities. Meanwhile, the Charvakas, materialists of a different kind, rejected both transcendence and inference, affirming only the tangible world of the senses as real. Thus, one tradition found freedom in emptiness, another in contact, and yet another in the solidity of matter, each striving in its own way to dissolve the gulf between the knower and the known. The Sāṅkhya philosophers trace the unfolding of reality through a hierarchy of 25 principles, tattvas, beginning with the dual foundations of pure consciousness, Purusha, and primordial nature, Prakriti. When Prakriti comes into proximity with Purusha, its equilibrium of the three gunas, Sattva, clarity, Rajas, activity, and Tamas, inertia, is disturbed, setting evolution in motion. From Prakriti emerge intellect, buddhi, ego, ahamkara, and mind, manas, followed by the senses, subtle elements, tanmatras, and finally the gross elements, mahabhutas, that constitute the physical world. Perception in this view is the meeting point of Purusha and Prakriti, consciousness witnessing the operations of nature. According to Sāṅkhya, perception arises when Prakriti, stirred by the mere presence of Purusha, unfolds into the cognitive faculties, buddhi, intellect, ahamkara, ego, and manas, mind, which organize sensory data into a reflection of the external world. Liberation comes through the discriminative insight that separates the seer, Purusha, from the seen, Prakriti, revealing consciousness as the pure, unattached witness. The Yoga Sutras call perception one of the 5 fluctuations of the mind. Right perception, Pramāṇa, arises from clear contact between sense and object. False perception, Viparyaya, from misidentification. When the mind stills, consciousness reflects reality like a tranquil lake mirrors the moon. Modern neuroscience whispers a similar insight, that perception is prediction, the brain forever refining its model of the world. The yogi quiets that restless modeling until the seer abides in his own nature. Tada drashtuh svarupe vasthanam. Yoga Sutra 1.3. Advaita Vedanta speaks of 2 orders of truth. Vyavaharika Satya, the empirical reality of everyday life. Paramarthika Satya, the ultimate reality, Brahman, pure consciousness. The Viveka Chudamani, traditionally ascribed to Sri Adi Shankaracharya, encapsulates Advaita Vedanta in the dictum, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is the ultimate reality. The world is merely an appearance. The rope never becomes the snake. Ignorance superimposes form upon formlessness. Yet, if all difference is illusion, where is room for love, relationship, or devotion? The mind begins to sense a truth beyond negation, a unity that breathes through diversity. 5 centuries ago, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered a vision beyond duality and non-duality. The doctrine of Achintya-bhedābheda-tattva, the inconceivable simultaneous oneness and difference between the Supreme and all that exists. His energies are inconceivably one with and different from him. As the sun and its rays, one in substance yet distinct in form. The Absolute radiates as the living beings and the cosmos. Difference is not illusion but expression, a divine dialogue between source and manifestation. Reality is relational, not solitary. In the Gaudiya vision, perception is participation. The perceiver, Jiva, and the perceived, Jagat, are bound by Shakti, the living energy of the Supreme, Krishna. To see truly is to relate, not to stand apart. Modern science now rediscovers this truth. In quantum physics, properties arise only in measurement. Reality is woven from relations, not isolated things. Neuroscience shows perception as an active loop. Brain, body, and world predicting and correcting each other in continuous dialogue. Even mathematics speaks this language. Yoneda's lemma in category theory declares, an object is known entirely by its relationships to all others. Being is interaction. Essence is connection. Across disciplines, the idea of relational reality replaces the preconceived notion of physicality. Perception then is not a static image but a relationship that consciousness continually constructs on the mirror of the mind. When love becomes the principle of knowing, the universe is no longer inert matter. It is relation realized in its perfection. The seer and the seen, forever distinct, forever one. An inconceivable harmony, the eternal rhythm of perception and reality.